What if you woke up tomorrow and your money just didn't work? Not because you were broke, not because the bank made a mistake, but because someone decided it shouldn't. No cash to fall back on, no way to buy food, gas, or medicine without going through a system that could be switched off at any moment. This is no longer science fiction. This is already happening in countries around the world right now. And America is next. Right now, 5.3 billion people use digital wallets. That's almost 2 out of every 3 people on Earth. In America, nearly 87% of all purchases in 2024 were made without cash, and that is going up. Sweden is almost completely cashless. Only 8% of transactions there still use physical money. A college professor in Sweden recently asked his class of 30 students if anyone had cash on them. Not one single student had a single dollar bill or coin on them. Think about it now. Think about your friends, your family. Think about yourself. Do you have cash on you? I sure don't. And here's the part that should stop you cold in your tracks. Sweden had to pass a law requiring some businesses to still accept cash. Why? Because elderly people, disabled people, and low-income people were completely being left behind. The system moved so fast it forgot about the real people, the average human. Here's what most people don't know. Right now, 77 countries are building something called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. 5 countries already have one fully running. China's digital yen has already processed nearly $10 billion in transactions. So, what is the CBDC? Think of it this way. Regular cash is yours the moment it's in your hand. Nobody can see what you spend it on. Nobody can freeze it. Nobody can put an expiration date on it. A CBDC is the opposite of all of that. A CBDC is a digital money issued and controlled directly by the government. Every transaction is visible. Every purchase is recorded. And here's the part they don't advertise. Programmable money can expire. Spend it by this date or lose it. Programmable money can be restricted. You can buy food, but not this kind of food. You can pay rent, but you can't use it for this or that. Programmable money can be frozen before trials, before convictions, just frozen. We already saw that happen in 2022 in Canada. The government froze the bank accounts of truckers who were protesting against their views. No CBDC was even needed. They did it with the existing system. Now imagine, what could they do with a system built specifically for this? You've probably heard of UBI, Universal Basic Income. Free money every month, no strings attached. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Finland tried it. They gave 2,000 people about $630 a month for 2 years. Stockton, California tried it. They gave 125 residents $500 a month. In Stockton, full-time employment actually went up among the people receiving it. During COVID, the US government sent $1,400 to 175 million Americans. That was the biggest UBI test in American history, and most people didn't even realize it. Here's what happened though. People saved the money instead of spending it. The national savings rate jumped from 7% to 32% overnight. And that's a problem for governments because the government wants you spending, not saving. So here's the question nobody's asking, but I will. What happens when UBI gets delivered through CBDC? What happens when your free monthly payments comes from pre-programmed systems? You can spend it on groceries if they're approved. You can spend it on rent if it's approved. You can spend it on things they don't like, but you're denied. The free money isn't free anymore. It comes with a leash. UBI is the carrot. The CBDC is the stick. And if you're dependent on that monthly payment to survive, you'll do whatever it takes to keep it coming. Here's what history keeps showing us. Control of money has always been the control of people. The Roman Empire had a monopoly on coins, and they used it. Medieval kings taxed its specific currencies, only they controlled them. Every single time a government gained control over the flow of money, that power was eventually used. Sometimes for good reasons, to be fair, but most of the time not. The technology changes everything, and that right now, for the first time in human history, governments have the technology to control every single transaction every single person makes in real time, without you even knowing it's happening. The question isn't whether a cashless world is coming, it's when. It is coming. The question is, what kind of rules will govern it, and who will be in charge of turning off and turning on your money? And who gets the money? By 2030, and most economics agree on this timeline, some version of digital currency will be standard in America. UBI conversations are already happening in Congress, and on Fox News, and on CNN. Most every news channel talks about universal basic income. The infrastructure is being built right now, whether you're paying attention to it or not. So, what do you do in the meantime? What do I do in the meantime? You stay liquid, you diversify, you hold some of your value outside of systems that cannot be switched off. Whether that's precious metals, land, skills, or community, not because the world is ending, but because people who depend entirely on one system have no options when the system changes its terms. And when it does arrive, because it will, the people who understood what it was before it got here will be the ones who can still make real choices inside it. Knowledge is the one thing they can't program an expiration date into. And we need to wake up as a society. Build your skill set. Do not rely on a government to give you money. Yes, I would love the government to give me X amount of money. But, as Revelation says, you cannot buy, sell, or trade without the mark. Some people think UBI is the mark of the beast. Some people think the CBDC is the gateway to that mark. And if you look at everything at full scope, from a satellite view, it's hard to argue that. In the meantime, what you can do is get out of debt, build your skills, find something passionate that you love to do, and never, ever, ever sell your soul for money.